Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video. And in today's video, we're going to go over the matchup sets for Arachne, where Arachne stands against certain heroes, and just kind of talk about each matchup. I've played each matchup at least once. I've played around 100, I'd say 100 games with Arachne on Talishar, and then played a couple times in person with some other people already. And he or she, it's gender, not gender specific. They are kind of in a cool spot where like they're really good against some heroes, really bad against others, but I feel like they're pretty much in every matchup. There's only like, I'd say one bad matchup for Arachne, that there's no auto losses, but there's only one really bad one. So we'll kind of go through this. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you agree with it. If you like content like this, please do like, comment, subscribe. It really helps out the channel. If not me, it's totally fine. Go to another creator, leave a like, comment, subscribe on their stuff so we can get more people seeing this game. Also, I do a really bad job at promoting the Discord down below, but we do have around 270 some members right now. We're doing really good. Whether you're a Ninja player or not, doesn't matter. Definitely join it if you want to. But yeah, we'll get right into it. So I have four different sections here. I have favorable, obviously, 50-50, which, you know, is like it says, unfavorable. And then finally I put in a skill intensive spot. I did this on purpose because I'm gonna put heroes in this category that may seem like super unfavorable, but really, in my opinion, they're skill intensive, and it's also deck specific, because certain decks will do better. Certain types, like archetypes of Arachne, will do better against these heroes. So starting off with Kano. So Kano for me is favorable, as favorable as Kano can be, right? Like if Kano gets his pop off turn and you're at like 28 health and you didn't stack your resources properly or whatever, what have you, it sucks, right? However, with Arachne, it's really nice because I run a lot of blues, 18 to 21, depending on the build. And I've never had a problem being able to pitch for resources, and I put in Lantern, so I still have one of my daggers. I have Lantern, then AB2, so I have a total of AB3, and it really hurts his ability to have his pop-off turn. Also, I have Oasis in the sideboard, which I put in, so I think I'm like 7-1 against Kanos. I've played against a lot of Kanos on Talishar, a lot of people. Now, you know, Kano is a super skill-intensive hero, and the matchups, you know, might be playing the best Kano player in the world. But regardless, I've definitely played a couple that just by their play patterns, like they knew the hero. I just think with the AB3, with a ton of blues, even a good amount of yellows, I think that you can really kind of, and your ability to control his pitch stack with your opt, I think that overall he's favorable. He's not like a landslide victory by any means. It's probably like 55-45, but that's where I put Kano. For dash, this is weird. Okay, so if it's boost dash, it's favorable. It's the most favorable matchup you have. It's literally free until boost dash players figure out a different way to beat Arachne. I think I got down to like 6 life one time on a dash one time because they had this insane 3 boost turn that went into their mechanoid, that went into their not mechanoid, sorry, it went into a blaster into a maximum velocity. Like it was like stupid, or the other way around. Like, so like, other than that, I've decked out a boost dash and I could probably do it with my monitor off. Like, it's when I see Tekla Pounder starting out, I just say, okay, I'm blocking, and I attack when I can, and I just kill you, because having 3 sigils, having a bunch of 60 reacts, the way I play Arachne, it's free. I've never lost to a boost dash, not even close. Now, if it's a control dash and they know how to play correctly, it can be unfavorable. It's not super unfavorable in my opinion. It's not a fun matchup, but it's not great. But regardless, it's just barely unfavorable. I honestly put it in the 50-50 once you learn the matchup better. But if they have their super tank boost dash, it's probably unfavorable. But the majority of dash players I'm seeing right now are trying the hyperdriver, or trying mechanoid, they're trying blaster builds. So like, I would say it's favorable at the moment until someone figures it out. Azalea's favorable. A really good Azalea player, like really good one that's played all the time, maybe 50-50, because they know how to dominate their arrows consistently. When you first look at Azalea, you would think it's a really bad matchup for Arachne, because there's constant dominate, constant, you know, maybe even on hit effects if they get everything right. But like Red in the Ledger doesn't really matter to you. You just can play and eradicate with a cut to the chase and an attack react, and you're fine. So the fact that you only get one action point, or that she can trip up your ability to go wide, doesn't really matter for you if you play Arachne the way I think you should play it, which is control tall build. However, like I said, if it's super skill intensive, it's 50-50, but no, 9 out of 10 Azaleas, it's favorable. Viserai is favorable. Maybe 50-50. We can put him 50-50 because I think it's like 55-45, maybe a little bit less. Most of the I really don't have a gauge on this hero, actually. I'm gonna put him 50-50 because I haven't actually seen a lot of the Mob Sky like aggro Viserai. Everybody keeps trying this now new OTK build with like 10, 20, 25 D reacts, and I don't get it. I don't think Viserai could do that back before everybody hit like a truck, and now that there's so many heroes that have so many on hit effects and so many like so much power to their decks, I don't see that hero being viable at all. Personally, I think the only thing you can really do is add in like Deathly Duets or Blessings into your your aggro builds and try to do it from there. But right now I'd say it's favorable in my testing. It could move to 50-50 personally, but I'd have a positive win rate against them pretty easily. Oldheim is unfavorable. Definitely the tank Oldheim builds, most of them just go tank when they see you. They're not going to try to do aggro. If they do go aggro, then it becomes a 50-50 matchup. But for any Oldheim who knows the deck, it's going to be unfavorable. I am just under 50-50 against the matchup. I think I'm like 3-4, which 3 wins, 4 losses, which isn't bad because the wins I get are against aggro Oldheims and the losses are against fatigue Oldheims. And it's usually not close. So it's hard. Now I will say that if they're running fatigue, if both of you aren't playing a million miles an hour, you both are going to go to time and you're going to both get the loss because it's just the way the game goes. But overall, it's unfavorable. Lexi is interesting. Okay, so we're seeing 2 different, like I'll put her in 50-50 for a second. We're seeing 2 different Lexi builds right now. We're seeing like the kind of standard like aggro Voltaire build has gone away from what I'm seeing. I don't see a lot of people using that. I really don't. I've seen a lot of people do the go tall Death Dealer build now. And that build sucks. You really have to play correctly in that build. I do think it's 50-50 because I'm gonna say this is a skill intensive build. It depends on how the Lexi plays and it depends on how you play. They have a lot of dominate, a lot of on hit effects, and if it hits, Shock Charmers is a bitch. It sucks. However, I do think with your D reacts, with Oasis, with sigils, and all that kind of stuff, you can really last her out until she runs out of threats. Personally, but it's a skill intensive matchup for sure. I've only played the deck 2 or 3 times. I think I've like lost 1-2 or something like that, but it's a skill intensive matchup for sure. Briar's hard. I'm going to say Briar's 50-50 because it all depends if she hits her channel turn super early or not. If they hit their channel turn super early, good luck. You're going to take a lot of damage. Like it's just, even with Arachne who can block 14 on any given turn, it's still hard. She's going to leak damage. But if she doesn't hit her channel turn super early, it's really good for you. Being able to cycle her pitch is really nice. If you see a channel on top of the deck, being able to sync that is so crucial. You want to be as proactive as you can against Briar. Some people would think just like tank up and don't attack, but with her, like you want to attack because you want to see what's on top of her deck, so you hopefully can see a channel and cycle it. So I'd say 50-50 right now. It just depends on how she draws. Icelander's 50-50 as well. It's a little bit harder than Kano because she has some taxing effects and she can play the long game against you, going with Frost Hexes and Insidious Chills and really just trying to outlast you until she hits her big Wombo turn. So you have to be a little more proactive in the Icelander. You can't just sit back like you can with Kano. I still run AB3 against her, which definitely helps. Like she can't use Blue Ether, Ice Vein, stuff like that. But overall, definitely a little bit harder, and with super skill intensive Icelanders, you see they could give you some trouble. Bolton, when I first started playing Boltons, I said it was unfavorable. Now to me it's favorable. Bolton's still really good. I think Bolton's gonna have a place in the meta. I'm not saying he's a top deck. I know some people disagree with me, but I do think that he's gonna have a chance. If he hits his power turn early, it's really bad for you. However, we have so many non-attacks in our deck. We have so many D-reacts in our deck, at least my version. We have 3 Oasis. We have 3 Sigils. It really negates his power turn a lot because you can block without upping the attack power. And if he doesn't have a lot in soul, it really is hard. And he doesn't get a lot in soul from attacks hitting that often because you can just keep blocking them with your non-attacks and they don't get the buff and he can't banish that easy. And it's just a lot harder for him. So early game, if you can control the board state, control his soul, control the game, then he's in a bad spot. Now, if he high rolls, that's Bolton. Like you're just going to get over that. But overall, I think it's favorable. Levia is favorable. The deck doesn't do well against Arachne. She can't intimidate you like Reinhardt can. She can come in with these crazy turns, you just block her out, and then eventually she dies the blood debt. That's just the way I've looked. Dromai, super skill intensive. So Dromai is naturally unfavorable. I'm not going to sit here and say that Arachne is favorable in a Dromai. We know why it's not, because of all the dragons. However, if you run a consistent game plan into Dromai, you can win. Right now, I am 8-1 against Dromais, and I am not, I think 8-1. Like, actually, here, I'm going to do this on the fly. If we go to my decks, TCG Talk Mill V2 results, I'm 10-2 against Dromais. I'm 7-1 against. Okay, so 7-1 against Dromais. So, against that iteration of the deck, that's not even like all my matchups. That's just that deck. What I do against Dromai is I run 6 poppers. I have Findle's Fighting Spirit, 3 of them that yellow, and I have 3 Command and Conquers, and I just cycle them with 2 Remembrances. And in an ideal situation with decent pace, right, I have 12 poppers in my deck, which is a lot. It really hurts their ability to attack. Miragai hurts a little bit, obviously. Chromai can hurt a little bit, obviously. And Necria doesn't feel good either. Necria is actually one of the more annoying dragons after Miragai. But overall, like, I haven't had a ton. Now, every time you play Dromai, you are not playing to put their life total to 0. You are playing to deck them out every single time. Like, don't try to kill them. It's not going to work unless you just high roll and they cannot find a dragon to save their life for some weird reason. No good Dromai should lose to you off life total. Just shouldn't. If they do, they're probably not a very good Dromai player. I'm sorry to tell you. So you are trying to play deck them out, but overall with me, I think at first it looks really bad, but it's really skill intensive. It depends on who's better with their deck. But I do think if you have 6 poppers with 2 remembrances and you hit your cards right, that they just can't get anything going, because if they put 2 dragons out, they attack with 1, you pop 1, then you kill the next dragon, then all of a sudden they have 0 dragons again, and they just lost like 2-3 cards, right? And they didn't deal any damage. So it all depends. What actually hurts with Dromai more than anything is Rake the Embers and like Dust Ups, and being able for them to get a lot of Ash Wings on the field. Those actually hurt worse than the actual dragons, like 9 times out of 10. The other one that's really annoying is Dominia, because she can cycle out a popper out of your deck if she reveals a red, or out of your hand if she reveals a red, and then you have to kill it on the next turn. So you basically have to eat the damage so you can kill it the next turn. Doesn't feel good for that either, but overall not too bad. Then you have Fi. If the Fi knows what they're doing, it's unfavorable. Some people in the Arakni chat in the Discord might disagree, but I'm telling you right now, if the Fi is a good Fi player and they know how to play their deck, and they're not just like throwing cards willy-nilly, it's unfavorable. The Fi can go wide enough. They're always going to leak through damage every single turn on you. The way you beat Fi is you control their pitch, you control their deck stack, and you banish Art of Wars or sink Art of Wars, like really get rid of some of their power cards, know when to block on mass, things of that nature. But overall, Fi is unfavorable. It's not like auto loss by any means, but I'd honestly say it's 60-40 if the Fi is good. If the Fi is not good, then it can be a little bit less, but that's just my opinion. Dorinthia is 50-50. Now with my Dorinthia, I think I'm 2-1 against her with this iteration of the deck. Overall, it's really good because you can control her ability to to swing with her sword again, because you just block out the first one. She has to really like hit her good cards early. The new aura helps her out a lot, but overall I think it's 50-50. It's very skill intensive. Again, you have to know like what's in her deck, check her graveyard, see if she's running Iron Song responses, like in Stroke of Foresight, this little stuff. It's very skill intensive. It actually might even be in the skill intensive eventually once I play it more, but right now it's just 50-50. So Reinhardt for me is 50-50 as well. If he high rolls you and you still have any cards in hand to block with, right, like then that's how it is. And he can, a lot of the Reinhardts, not a lot, but a good amount of the Reinhardts right now, because of the calling list, they're playing like that value like club and claws build, where like you block with 2 cards, swing for 7, swing for 8 until you get your Blood Rush Bellow turn. So if they don't hit their power turn early and they can't like intimidate you a lot, then it's actually favorable. But if they do, then it sucks. So it's 50-50. A good Reinhardt is similar to Dromai. It's similar to really Azalea, where it's a super skill intensive hero. You can tell the difference between someone who's just playing Reinhardt and someone who knows how to play Reinhardt. So that's the way I look at it. Bravo is unfavorable. It sucks if it's a good Bravo. They can just dominate the crap out of you. And being able to hit you with Crippling Crush consistently, 3 Terra Sunders, like they're just going to get rid of cards from your hand while also doing Dominate. If it's a good Bravo and they're hitting their cards, it's going to be unfavorable. If they don't hit Cripplings early, it can be 50-50, but right now in my testing, it's unfavorable. Katsu is favorable. He can't quite go wide enough, and I'm not going to lie, and this is not a shot at other people, I haven't seen a good Katsu player yet. That's just because probably most of them are playing Fi, or like some other aggro hero. Not a lot of the great aggro players are playing Katsu right now. And overall, I haven't lost a Katsu yet on my iteration of the build. So I've beaten Arachnes with my Katsu, but I think like a lot of people just aren't playing the hero right. They're just going for that power turn. If you do that, you'll just lose. And Prism's down there because she's on this old list, but she's LL'd. So that's how I see it. He's definitely favorable. He or she is definitely favorable against more than unfavorable. There's definitely some 50-50 matchups. The main ones is Guardian sucks because they can dominate you and like deck you out depending on how they play. Fi is hard because he can actually go wide enough regardless of how much you block to keep leaking damage. And then the 2 big skill intensive matchups for me so far have been Lexi and Dromai. Again, this was like over 100 matches on the hero, easy. And overall, not doing too bad. I'm sitting at like a 60% win rate or a little bit higher. So he's definitely in favorable. They're definitely favorable in most of their matchups. So yeah, hopefully this made sense. If you like this, please leave a like, comment, subscribe again. If not, totally fine. Go in our Fleshbug creator, leave a like, comment, subscribe on their stuff so we can get more people seeing this game. Yeah, let me know what type of videos you want to see in the future, and I'll see y'all next time on TCG Talk. Thank y'all so much.